President Trump announced a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports. This aggressive move sent shockwaves through the global economy. The European Union and Canada quickly announced plans to impose their own tariffs on American goods. Economists warn of potentially devastating consequences for businesses and consumers worldwide. The Trump administration argues that the tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and industries. They claim that unfair trade practices, particularly from China, have flooded the U.S. market with cheap steel and aluminum. Critics argue that the tariffs will raise prices for businesses and consumers, leading to decreased demand. They also warn of retaliation from other countries, further damaging the U.S. economy. The immediate impact was a sharp increase in the price of steel and aluminum. This has already had a ripple effect throughout the economy. The tariffs have created uncertainty in the global market, leading to volatility. The escalation of trade tensions has sparked fears of a global trade war. The European Union, a staunch ally of the United States, responded swiftly to Trump's tariffs. They announced retaliatory tariffs on $28 billion worth of American goods. These tariffs target products from Republican-held states, a strategic move aimed at increasing pressure on the Trump administration. The first wave of tariffs, impacting $9 billion worth of goods, will take effect on April 1st. This wave will target goods previously tariffed during Trump's first term, including bourbon, motorcycles, and agricultural products. A second wave, targeting an additional $19.6 billion worth of goods, is planned for April 13th. Canada, the largest supplier of steel and aluminum to the United States, also took a strong stance against the tariffs. They announced retaliatory tariffs on over $20 billion worth of U.S. imports. These tariffs target a wide range of American goods, including steel, aluminum, tools, computers, sporting goods, and cast iron. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the tariffs as unacceptable. He stressed the close economic ties between the two countries and the importance of fair trade. Canada's retaliatory measures aim to protect its own industries and workers from the negative effects of the American tariffs. While the European Union and Canada took a confrontational approach, other U.S. allies opted for different strategies. Britain and Australia refrained from immediate retaliation. Prime Minister Keir Starmer sought a long-term trade deal with the U.S.-Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese prioritized protecting consumers. China responded cautiously, vowing to protect its interests. Japan, a close U.S. ally, expressed regret and urged reconsideration, emphasizing the need for cooperation and dialogue. The tariffs come at a time when the U.S. economy is already grappling with inflation concerns. While consumer prices rose a modest 0.2% in February, up 2.8% year-over-year, economists warn that the tariffs could exacerbate inflationary pressures. The tariffs are expected to increase the cost of imported goods, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers on a range of products. Core inflation, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, also rose 0.2% from January, up 3.1% year-over-year. The tariffs' impact on business costs and consumer spending could lead to further price increases in the coming months. Economists are worried that the tariffs could lead to even higher inflation. The tariffs could disrupt global supply chains, increase costs for businesses, and dampen consumer spending. This could lead to slower economic growth, both in the U.S. and globally. The uncertainty created by the tariffs could also make businesses hesitant to invest and hire, further hindering economic activity. The tariffs' impact is already being felt by American consumers and businesses. The price of steel and aluminum has surged, increasing costs for manufacturers and construction companies. These higher costs are likely to be passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices for cars, appliances, and other goods. This could lead to a decrease in consumer spending, further slowing down the economy. The tariffs have hit the auto industry particularly hard. American automakers rely heavily on imported steel and aluminum. The tariffs have added to their costs, squeezing their profit margins and forcing them to raise prices. This comes at a time when the auto industry is already facing challenges from rising interest rates and changing consumer preferences. The tariffs could further weaken the industry and lead to job losses. The Federal Reserve is closely monitoring the situation. While the February inflation data was relatively positive, The Fed is concerned about the potential for tariffs to fuel inflation and hinder growth. The trade war ignited by President Trump's tariffs has created a climate of uncertainty and tension in the global economy.